One of the most exciting moments as a gamer is that feeling you get whenever a game that you have wanted for the longest time finally gets announced. That is why for many people, E3 is one of the greatest times of the year. Many new games are revealed, and whether you are at the event or not, it is a weekend of pure hype. But some companies have the ability to start the excitement for gamers all around before E3 even starts. As for Nintendo, E3 had already started when they surprised us gamers with the reveal of Smash Bros. For the Switch during the recent Nintendo Direct presentation. Whether it is a new game or a glorified Smash 4 port, the excitement from everyone was through the roof. 2018 is going to be a crazy year for the Switch and gamers alike. While I could make a whole video on how exciting this announcement was, I thought I would take a step back and talk about what the game itself could have. So for this video, I will be looking specifically at the possible battle stages, new and old, that the game may include. While games like Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild are guaranteed to be included, there are other series that may make an appearance within the game that I will briefly talk about. Without any further delay, let's begin. To start, exactly how many stages will this new game have? Obviously there is a default number plus unlockable ones in paid DLC. I took a look at the number of stages in previous titles. 64, Melee, and Brawl had 9, 29, and 41 stages. 3DS had just one more compared to the Wii game, and the Wii U had a grand total of 55. Looking at the previous numbers, I'm guessing that the Switch version will cap at around 60. Maybe 65 if you include potential DLC. Let's first talk about the two obvious games that will have stages, Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. Right now, I'm gonna call it a New Donk City stage based off of the New Donk City Festival. This stage would be a standard one with no hazards, with a band playing in the background. This would be perfect for the game, and I would be very disappointed if this wasn't included. It would also be a perfect chance to put in that sweet Jump Up Superstar theme. Aside from that, the sky is really the limit for stage ideas. It could easily be a flyby stage where you explore a few of the different worlds. The Cap, Cascade, Metro, and Seaside are a few good examples, but most of them would work. But while Odyssey will most certainly feature a stage in Smash, Breath of the Wild is no exception. Being an open world, the possibilities of stages are literally endless. However, when it comes to specific stages, there are a few ideas that come to mind. Being an open world, Nintendo would most likely want to show off as much of the different landscapes as possible. While this sounds impossible, it could be achieved by having a stage that visits all 4 of the race's towns. I could also see the interiors of Divine Beasts being stages. However, I feel like Hyrule Castle has a very high chance of appearing as a stage. My guess is that it will start in the Sanctum as a normal stage. Calamity Ganon's egg sac will be hanging above the stage, and if hit enough, it will burst, sending them down on the ground. Like the game, the floor will break and the setting will switch from there to the laboratory. Ganon then will become a stage hazard, and once players defeat him, the entire stage will reset. They could even do something similar to the Ridley stage in Smash 4, where damaging him enough, he will become an ally to the player. Now, because we can assume that main franchise characters like Samus, Pikachu, and Fox will be in the game, there are going to be stages that are associated with said characters. This is a must, but I'm still going to look further into said games to get an idea of what stages we could see in the new Smash Bros. With the reveal of Prime 4 last year, I'm certain the new stage will be from that game. Obviously no gameplay has been shown, so the game is still in its early development stages, but I have a feeling that we will finally see the first trailer for it during E3. There are 2 reasons for this. First of all, the timing just feels right. Since Smash is going to be the main system seller this year, that wouldn't really put any pressure on for Metroid sales. I can see the game being released right after the beginning of 2019. More people would have Switches, and it would benefit both Nintendo and the consumer. Second, it will set the stage, pun intended, for a Prime 4 themed stage. Even if the game doesn't come out until after Smash, this would be no issue. The exact same thing happened to Yoshi's Woolly World. There was a stage for it in Smash 4, but the game came out nearly a year later. Star Fox is another very significant franchise when it comes to the Smash Bros. Stages. Ever since the original game, there has been a Star Fox stage. Since Star Fox Zero had come out for the Wii U, I'm pretty sure they're going to incorporate some sort of mechanics from that game to the new stage. All previous stages have involved fighting on a flying ship. However, Zero incorporated the idea of ships transforming into walker-like machines. So I believe that the Star Fox stage will begin on the flying ship and soon it will transform, pushing the players off onto the ground to battle there. Maybe there will be a stage hazard or 2. Lasers could be fired on the battlefield and players have to avoid them. After a while, the ship will take off again and the cycle will restart. Besides that, it's safe to assume that a retro Star Fox stage will return to the game. What the real question is, however, is whether a new Yoshi-themed stage will make an appearance. Smash 4 had a Woolly World stage, and since we were given a trailer for the new game, it wouldn't be that shocking to see a stage based off of it. Instead of the whole wool concept, it would probably be more of a papercraft stage, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. While I'm unsure about Yoshi, a Fire Emblem and Kid Icarus stage will definitely be in the game. However, I have no idea what they will be. We've had Fire Emblem Warriors, so perhaps they will somehow incorporate that in the game. That would also bring up the idea of a Hyrule Warriors stage if they really wanted. As for Kid Icarus, anything is possible. We haven't had a recent game, so they might just bring back an old stage. Speaking of old stages, I'm pretty sure Super Mario Maker is gonna make a return. There was a DLC stage in Smash Bros. 4, but it has become such a big thing that I am certain it will have a stage in the Switch version. I'm also gonna go ahead and assume that we'll be seeing either a port or sequel of the game. If this is announced during E3, that will only strengthen the possibility. We'll definitely be seeing a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 stage in the game. If no sequel for the original was released, it would be hard to tell, but it's recently spiked in popularity ever since the original was put in Smash Bros. I can't say much since I haven't played either game, but I doubt that Guar Plains will return. As for Pikmin, I think if there's a new stage, it will be from one of the older games. We have known that a fourth Pikmin has been in development since 2015, but haven't gotten any other news on it. I don't think we'll see it at E3, so there probably won't be a stage based off of it. Luigi's Mansion is another interesting one. Since we are getting a port of the original game for the 3DS, it's possible that we will see it in the game. We've seen the same Luigi's Mansion stage in Brawl and Wii U, but I have my doubts it will return. If we do have a Luigi's Mansion stage, it probably will be one that transitions through the rooms. As for F-Zero, I don't think I need to go into much detail. While there have been no new games since 2004, we've always had stages from this franchise. It's pretty much a fact that we'll get another one, and it will be just as chaotic as the usual ones. As you might expect, Pokemon is gonna have one, probably even a few stages. Usually there is a regular Pokemon Stadium stage, which seems to be a reoccurrence in the series. Since Pokemon Sun and Moon were released, it would be a crime to not include them. If I had to guess, the stage would either be the Altar of the Moon, Sun, or Aether Foundation. The first idea would have Solgaleo and Lunala occasionally appear from time to time in the background, and the Aether Foundation would work perfectly. You could have the occasional Ultra Beast appear as a stage hazard and mess with the stage. Lusamine or the Aether Foundation theme would work perfectly in a battle. I haven't mentioned them yet, but Battlefield and Final Destination will obviously return. Just rehashes of the same stages. Still waiting for a theme that can top Brawl's Final Destination music though. But speaking of waiting, Nintendo, where is my new Animal Crossing game for the Switch? I mean, you guys skipped out on the Wii U in exchange for that sorry excuse of a board game. Animal Crossing has become a must in the list of stages. As simple as they are, it's always great to fly around the town. As usual, this will probably just be a rehash of older versions. Not the exact same, but slightly redone. Still though, I better see some news on the next Animal Crossing game this E3. Instead of reflecting on a terrible Wii U game, let's look at one that received plenty of praise by fans and critics. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. This stage would probably have a similar design to the one in the Wii U version, but with different elements. The Wii U game had a really neat concept with their Donkey Kong Country Returns stage, where there was a foreground and background. While unique, I doubt it will return. Since Tropical Freeze is coming out for the Switch, I am picturing a stage with simple platform elements. However, over time the state of the stage will change. It will alternate from normal to ice themed regularly. The real question I have about this though, will it include a funky mode? Let's take a look at a few more third-party stages. Starting with Sonic. He's been a character since Brawl, so most likely he'll return along with the stage that will probably be new. While Sonic Forces is the first guest for a stage, there is a good chance that something from Sonic Mania will be selected. After all, the game played homage to the original games and redesigned old stages that were classics. Pac-Man and Street Fighter stages. I'm unsure at this point. These two characters have first appeared in the Wii U version, so it's hard to tell if they will return along with new or old stages. For Pac-Man, it made sense he was in the Wii U version along with the stage since Bandai Namco contributed with the production of the game, but they weren't mentioned at all in the reveal, so there is a chance Pac-Man won't be in it. He is a very iconic gaming character though, so who knows. These next stages are less about me thinking they will make it into the game and more of me thinking they will be perfect for the game. The first idea was a Snipperclip stage. While cool, it's unlikely. I'm mentioning it because it would be a very good stage to put in the game. But from what I see, if a stage is in, then at least one character from that third-party game needs to be included. So it's probably not going to be a thing. The next one is Undertale? Yeah, not a chance. This one is also unlikely, but I am mentioning it mainly to talk about a cool stage concept. Imagine if the stage was a battle and you had to dodge all attacks as you would in the game. It would be cool, but I doubt any characters will make an actual appearance in the game. But hey, maybe Sans will be in the next Smash. I guess we won't know until we play it. With that said, I've gone through a bunch of old franchises. As seen in the trailer, there are more characters and stages that will be potential candidates for the game. Let's start with the big hit, Are You a Kid or a Squid? Splatoon. Inkopolis would be a perfect stage for the game because of its layout. No stage hazards, just a simple battleground for people to brawl it out. From looking at both games, the first version of Inkopolis would work much better. If that's not good enough, how about any of the battle stages as possible arenas? It's hard to tell which game the stage would come from. Smash for the Wii U missed out on a Splatoon stage since the Wii U game came out after Smash Bros, so it could be a stage from the first or second game. It's very possible, however, that 2 Splatoon stages will exist because of how popular it was. Perhaps the original Inkopolis from the first game will be paired with a stage from the second game. And let's face it, Nintendo Labo needs to have a stage in the new Smash game. I don't know how it will work. Maybe the stage changes after time through the folding of cardboard. That would be a pretty cool stage idea. While hitting a building with a giant robot is cool, being in a boxing match against players with a full list of silly characters can be just as awesome. Yep, I'm referring to ARMS. While not as popular as Splatoon, I can easily see them throwing in a stage for this game. It would be like the Punch-Out's boxing ring from Wii U. I also would not be surprised in the least if an ARMS character is in Smash. But character predictions will be left for another possible video. Now for a less exciting game. 1-2 Switch. It has a very small chance. I doubt we'll see a stage for this. If we do, it will be in a similar style as WarioWare. But why even include it if they already have a WarioWare stage? Oh yeah, speaking of WarioWare, this will definitely make another appearance. There has been news about a 3DS version coming this year, but even if nothing was announced, it would still be an obvious choice. They won't play around with a formula for this stage, it will stay the exact same. There are also a bunch of other stages that I doubt will return, and while this list is only talking about a few of the many found within the Wii U version, I still had a few that I wanted to address. Super Mario Galaxy. While these games are classics, they are pretty old at this point. It was cool to have a stage based on the game in the Wii U version, but I doubt they will even bring it back as a retro stage. Pilot Wings. Definitely not, but I feel that Wuhu Island has a chance at returning to the Nintendo Switch version. Skyloft. If a remake for Skyward Sword was confirmed, then this could come back as a retro stage, but I'm pretty sure all the other stages from past Zelda games are going to be overshadowed by Breath of the Wild. But both the Temple and Bridge of Eldin are iconic stages, so maybe they will return. Paper Mario. I mean, a Color Splash stage is possible, and I did hear that the game was actually pretty fun, but let's face it, it isn't as big as it used to be. Even the announcement for the Wii U game was presented in a very casual way. I don't think this will be in the Switch version. Mario Circuit. This one is tough to predict. They ported the game to the Switch and added battle features, but is it even worth it to make another stage for it? If it exists, it would just be the exact same stage. But I doubt it, and making a whole other stage for the deluxe version seems even more unlikely. The Great Cave Offensive. I have my doubts. There are other Kirby stages that I feel have a better chance at returning, like Green Greens. It's already been a Melee and Brawl, but I feel that if a stage would return, it definitely won't be the one from the Wii U. Delfino Island. As much as I would love to see the stage again, it's outlived its purpose. Super Mario Odyssey would probably replace it, having a stage where you explore the different worlds. Wrecking Crew, Wii Fit Studio. Nothing much to say here. They seem more like one-time stages. Now, as previously said, this is only a fraction of the amount of stages that will be in the game. If most of these predictions come true, that would amount to around half of the number of stages. That is, if the assumption that the game will have around 60 is true. I could go on about more that might appear and might not, but we would be here all day. And with that, this video is over. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see more Smash related content, make sure to let me know in the comments section. If you want to continue to support the channel, make sure to subscribe. I've been Nintendo Block Crisis, and I will see you guys later.